Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and we are here to talk about the very first movie to start off the DC Cinematic Universe, and that is Man of Steel, directed by Zack Snyder. Now, this was the first movie to set up this big universe that Zack Snyder wanted to create, so did it do a good job at starting all this? Well, let's talk about it. A lot of people, including critics and fans, this movie's been very, very divided. Some people hate it, some people love it, some people think it was in the middle. I personally think it was a pretty good start. I am not a fan of Superman. I don't enjoy reading his comics all that much. I know, bring on the hate in the comments, but I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't personally enjoy Superman stories and comic books. I've read them, and I just don't really enjoy them too much. Now, with his films, I enjoyed the very first Superman with Christopher Reeves, and I watched the show Smallville for a long time. I thought that show was really fun. I enjoyed it as a kid. And I went into this movie going, I don't know how good this is going to be, because before this movie we had Superman Returns, which was So, I went into this movie very cautious when I went to go see it. But luckily for me, I actually rather enjoyed it. Let's get to why. First thing, the movie opens up on Krypton as it's getting destroyed and everyone's ready to evacuate it. And that looked awesome. The way the planet of Krypton looked in this film was very cool, because it showed you some of the animals that lived there. When you saw Russell Crowe playing Jor-El, and he's riding them to try and get to like the DNA that's gonna save Krypton and stuff like that. That was really cool. You had never seen Krypton done like this before, and I really enjoyed that. And the performances in this movie were fantastic. It made the movie more enjoyable, and I really did enjoy it. The only one that was a little weak in this movie was Henry Cavill as Superman, and I was a little, he wasn't terrible, but I felt like he just needed a little bit of work, but he did do good. I liked him. He had the physique, he was intimidating when he got angry and wanted to fight. I liked him for that. But anyway, the story of this movie continues on after Krypton gets destroyed, as we all know. He ends up living on Earth, obviously raised by the Kents. And it tells you his story through flashbacks, which was very interesting. Instead of just doing a straight up origin movie where we just see it right from the beginning, they did a flashback, which was cool because we all know the story to Superman. We didn't want to hear it again, which was very nice that they just said, hey, he's on a journey right now by himself, trying to figure out his life right now, and while he's doing that, he's having flashbacks while he's on his journey. And it's very cool. We saw some pretty cool moments with him trying to save a bunch of kids from a bus, which was very cool. I thought that was very awesome, showing off some of his powers. But then the movie took a point where I had a little problem with Jonathan Kent in this movie. Kevin Costner is awesome. I love him. He's a great actor. But when him as Jonathan Kent in this movie, when he told them they were having like a little heart-to-heart speech, him and Clark Kent, and he literally tells him, hey, maybe you should have let those kids die on the bus. What? That was the only thing where I was like, no, Jonathan Kent would never say that. That is not in his character at all. He would never, Martha Kent and Jonathan Kent were always the ones pushing Clark to be as good as he can be, to be a good guy. And when I saw that scene, I was like, I don't know. That was the only scene where I really didn't feel, where I felt like they really messed up. I was like, nah, that's not cool. I don't agree with that, no. But other than that, after you see like all the flashbacks and stuff of his early life, it was very cool to see how his X-ray vision got started and how to see his heat vision got started. It was very cool. I liked that a lot. I thought that was awesome. Next thing I want to talk about is the score of this movie. The music in this movie, in my opinion, was fantastic. It's hard to outdo John Williams with his very first iconic Superman theme, but this movie did a very good job. I loved every minute of it. It was very good. Every time a fight scene started, the music kicked in. It was intense. It kept you coming back for more. It kept you wanting more. You felt like you were in the moment. Very good. Love the music in this movie. Love it. The next thing I want to talk about is the cinematography in this movie. There's one thing Zack Snyder does right. He knows how to make a movie look visually beautiful. He made every shot in this movie, in my opinion, look wonderful. It was beautifully shot. The lighting was fantastic. Everything looked so good when it was happening on screen. Oh man, I could not believe how good this was. beautifully shot. Zack Snyder, I will always give you credit where credit is due. You know how to shoot some amazing scenes. My God. And the special effects in this movie, by the way, top notch. Absolutely awesome. Kept me in this movie. Every time he started flying, every time there was a fight, every time anything big happened, the special effects looked good. Top notch stuff. I loved it, guys. Looked beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Next thing we could talk about, some people thought that this movie had too much action. They felt like the action in this movie went on for too long. I disagree. The fact that we had a previous Superman movie that was very dull, very... like, the most action-packed thing that we saw in the last movie, Superman Returns, was him picking up heavy things. That's not what I wanted to see in this movie. I wanted to see Superman be Superman and fight enemies that really pushed him, made him have to use his powers. And this movie did it. Every time, when he started fighting in Smallville with Zod's henchmen, awesome. I was like, this is amazing. They were flying, they were being kicked through buildings, they were going crazy. They really went all out, which was fantastic. That is exactly what I want in a Superman movie. I'm not even that big of a fan of Superman. I don't like his comics all that much. But this movie kept me engaged with the fight scenes because I was like, this is something that I believe Superman will be doing. If Superman gets into a fight with somebody who's the same power as him, this is what it's going to look like. It was awesome. Things got destroyed. He had to really push himself. And remember, he's new at this. This is his first movie and his first time he ever donned the Superman outfit, which I gotta say, in this movie looked very good. I like the modern take on it. But he really had to push himself in this. He had never fought these guys before. He had never been truly a superhero before. This was his first time going in. So you can't expect him to be able to make sure everything doesn't blow up. Make sure everything stays in pristine condition. These are other evil Kryptonians that have the same powers as him. He has to make sure that he could just handle them. He had never fought guys like this before. So of course things are going to get blown up. Of course things are going to get destroyed. This is what's going to happen when a kid who just grew up on a farm has to go up against other Kryptonians with the same powers as him, with even more skill than him. Guys, there's going to be destruction when this happens in his first outing. It's his first time. Enough on that. I don't want to ramble on too much, but the fighting in this movie really made me feel good. Ooh, the action was amazing, guys. Loved it. Next thing, Zod as his first villain was a great choice. Great choice because, like I said, it was him going up against another Kryptonian, which was really awesome, having him have to push himself that much. Seeing the fight between those two was amazing. Them going all over Metropolis, which was amazing. Just seeing them go through all these buildings, having to really push each other to their very limit. And it was very good. I enjoyed every moment of that fight. Also, the ending of this movie is a very, very controversial thing. Some people did not like the ending of this movie. Spoiler alert, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this movie. Most of you already have. And if you clicked on this video, you probably have. So minor spoiler, well, not minor, but spoiler alert anyway. The ending of this movie was that when he got him right there in the chokehold, Zod starts spewing out his laser vision, and he's about to kill this family, and Superman is sitting there trying his best to stop him, trying his best to stop him, but for some reason he can't, even though I feel like maybe he could have. But no matter what, he saw a family about to get killed, so he sit there and he had to make a gut decision, split-second decision. He had to sit there and just be like, you know what? That family's gonna die if I don't do anything. So you know what? Bam! Snaps his neck, and he falls to the ground, but he wins the fight. Some people don't like this ending. Me, personally, with the fact that he had never fought before, that this is his first outing as Superman, he wanted to make sure that the enemy that he was fighting that was this big and this powerful, he wanted to make sure it didn't come back. He didn't have an idea of what to do with him. He didn't have an idea of to put kryptonite on him and put him in a prison somewhere. He didn't have any idea of what to do. So he had to kind of make a split decision and kind of sit there and tell himself, hey, if I don't do this, people will die. So you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Bam! He snapped his neck, and he felt remorse because you saw Superman get on his knees and just start screaming. He really didn't want to do that, and Zack Snyder did a great job of portraying the fact that he was devastated when he did this. He didn't want to kill Zod, but he did it to protect people. Did he enjoy doing it? No, he clearly didn't. But it was a choice that I believe he had to make. So that ending really does make sense to me, and I understand why he went with this, and I really did like it. I enjoyed that ending. It made a lot of sense to me personally, If you guys don't agree with it, you know, that's why movies are objective to, you know, whoever's watching it. But to me, that was a great idea, and I liked it, and it really did humanize the character a lot in this film. Now, another con I had with this movie was Lois Lane and Clark Kent's relationship. I understand they're supposed to like each other at some point. They do get together at some point, obviously, as you know in the comic books. But in this movie, it just kind of felt really, really weird that how randomly they just kind of, boom, we like each other. I didn't even think they were trying to make a connection with each other on that kind of a level in this movie. I just thought there were two people who knew each other and, you know, they just talked to each other and stuff like that. I didn't really feel a romantic vibe going on in this movie. But then they just kind of kissed at some point. I was like, there was a romantic thing going on between you guys? I thought this was just kind of like an introduction and you guys were gonna, you know, get together later in another movie, but instead you guys just kind of kiss and there you go and you like each other? Okay, I guess. I didn't see that coming. It didn't really feel developed to me, so. And another thing, Superman is usually a little bit lighter tone and everything. Zack Snyder went for a very dark and more somber tone to this movie. And I understand how people want the lighter part of Superman, and I wanted that too, so it was a little dark for me, but I understood why he did it. But that was a little gripe for me. I wish it was a little bit lighter tone, like I'm used to seeing Superman in the animated series and in Smallville. But you know what? It's okay, but still, just a little gripe. But overall, Man of Steel was a very good movie to me. I feel like it captured the action of Superman, finally seeing Superman have to really push himself in a fight. It was a good origin story without like sitting there giving it all to us again. I felt it was very well, the performances in this movie were absolutely amazing with Diane Lane, Kevin Costner, Henry Cavill. They were all awesome. The villain they chose in this movie was very good. Zod was a great way to start it. The way they showed Krypton in this movie was very cool. We had never seen it done like that, quite like that before. So Russell Crowe as Jor-El was very cool. I liked that. So overall, this movie, in my opinion, was very well done. Shot beautifully. It was very fun. It was a great and beautiful start to something that I thought was going to be amazing. This was the start of the DC Cinematic Universe, and it looked awesome. It looked like it was going to get better and better from here. So at the end of the day, Man of Steel gets a solid A from me. Guys, I like this movie a lot. I really enjoyed the fact that that was the first movie in the DC Cinematic Universe, and Zack Snyder blew me away with this film. Now, with the next one, that's a discussion for another day. But, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed my last video with how much I just rambled on about how much Spider-Man 3, whoa, man. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you completely disagree with me? Do you not like Man of Steel? Do you feel it was a bad start to the DC Cinematic Universe franchise? Perhaps you do. I want to hear what your comments are. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Let's have a discussion. I like that. I like seeing all the fan base get together and talk about something. But, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Give it a like and subscribe if you want, and have a great day, guys.